What's up, guys? Happy Wednesday, and welcome back to News for You with me, Tracy. We're always on Informed to Inform, bombarding with no warning. Let's get started. In the headlines, Besigye's lawyers file for bail. Vatican makes funeral arrangements. Museveni criticizes donors. 64-hour record break? Let's get started. Dr. Kizza Besigye's legal team has filed a second bail application after their initial request was denied on April 11th. The court had previously acknowledged that they met all the legal conditions. However, the bail application was denied due to potential concerns over interference in ongoing investigations. Now, this renewed application coincides with Dr. Besigye's 69th birthday, and supporters have planted a tree in his honor. His legal team remains committed to his release and is ready to challenge any irregularities that may come up in the bail denial process. Pope Francis's funeral has been set for this Saturday at St. Peter's Basilica in the Vatican. The Vatican released a photo of his open coffin and allowed people to pay their last respects. He will be buried in the papal tombs beneath the basilica. In a letter to the Vatican Secretary of State, President Museveni praised Pope Francis for his extraordinary.
With wood and zinc, there will be a roll detailing his life as a priest and a pope. Popes come from priests. I know you all know about priests. From a priest, there comes a bishop. Now, there is a title of a cardinal. The people who elect the Pope are called cardinals. In a conclave, it's a collection of cardinals. Cardinals are senior members of the Catholic Church. Initially, the role was too open that every Catholic, for as long as you are extraordinary, you would become a Pope, rather a cardinal. But it's now restricted more to priests. Priests become bishops. There's no office of the cardinal, but there is a title of the cardinal. So as we speak, 135 cardinals will be sitting in a hall. It's a hall, well decorated. It's called the Sistine Chapel. That's where the conclave sits. The conclave now starts discussing and fronting candidates for the role. I know there is a lot of speculation. You've even engaged in betting. People now are betting on who is likely to be the next cardinal. Will it be an African? That's all speculative for now. The conclave is likely to sit around the 5th of May, consisting of 135 cardinals. Then, in a matter of maybe days, there will be white smoke. If they fail to reach a consensus on the candidate for the Pope papacy, then there will be black smoke. But white smoke signifies that finally there is a Pope.
You've been seeing that the popes are typically a little bit more aged, if you will. So what is the
women priests? The Pope has got to be a priest. So
and the ladies are nuns.
Ladies are nuns.
Interesting.
We look at them as mothers of the church. They still play a very significant role. Yes. You want to be a Pope?
One day. We shall see. President Museveni has criticized Western donors for cutting aid to Uganda after the Anti-Homosexuality Act was passed. Basically, he said that aid was cut as a means to force foreign values on Uganda, but he emphasized that Uganda will continue to grow with or without their help. Museveni is open to working with donors again if they respect Uganda's choices, but he emphasized the country will stand firm and continue to grow through internal reforms. Now, the aid cutting has affected health services, particularly programs dealing with HIV, malaria, and TB, and has also negatively affected education and health programs, especially in northern Uganda. Museveni has encouraged African countries, however, to stand firm and protect their values against infiltration. And guys, our president has spoken. That's what he said. And he's standing beside it. Nigerian chess master has broken the Guinness World Record for longest chess marathon. Alongside the US national master Sean Martinez, their game lasted 64 hours and took place in New York City's Times Square. The previous record was 61 hours, set by two Norwegian players. Now, this was also an initiative to raise $1 million for children's education in Africa. Now, Guinness is yet to recognize this as a record. However, the event has been widely recognized. Guys, 64 hours. Who is our queen of Katwe? Can she enter? Beat the 64 hours? That would be lovely. And that is a wrap for today, guys. As always, please do comment down below and let us know what you thought of the show. And now we'll see you again tomorrow. Bye.